All right, so we're on Republican Road and we're coming up on the start of the private easement road. You can see that on the left. So we're gonna pull in there. And this tract sits at the very end of this easement road, so extremely private. You can see a gate here. Contact us for the combo for the lock on that, just in case you get out here and it's locked. So this is the 50-acre tract with the little cabin on it. And we're gonna go and check it out. This is a beautiful little rural development, small development. I think there are only about 20 tracts total out here. I believe this tract with the cabin is the largest at 50 acres. If it's not the largest, then it's pretty close, because most of them are 10 to 20 acres in size. This is a private easement road. You saw the gate back there, so this is only for property owners and their guests. So extremely private setting, being off of the county road like that. Our guys have spent quite a bit of time out here and they haven't seen any signs of any recent logging. These trees that you see off to the side of the road are just from the road being improved. So this property has a large amount of mature timber. Some beautiful, beautiful timber on this property, including some gorgeous mature pine trees, red oak, white oak, hickory, all kinds of stuff out here. The power line is at the cabin. It's run to the cabin. There's a meter there. So you're good to go on that. Just have to switch it over into your name. There's an old drilled well, but it looks like it has not been used for years. So that would take some work if you need to get that up and running, but it is right next to the cabin, and we'll see that once we get out there. Obviously, the wildlife out here is just phenomenal. The deer population and the turkey population is great. This tract does have that little creek that crosses, flows easterly over about the center of the property. Our guys have only walked down to it one time and they said it was running, but more than likely it's like most creeks in the Ozarks, and it's seasonal. We'll do a drone video as well. I don't know if we'll walk down there today, but we'll do a drone video and maybe we can see it from the air and see if it's running. Big tract. And again, it's at the very end of this road, so all these tracts are private, but this is the most private. You'll have no through traffic whatsoever on this property. It's pretty much all wooded other than the driveway and the yard area around the cabin. So we found several indications that this was where the cabin was an original homestead. We found a lot of clues or whatnot that make it look like someone had a home or a cabin there, 100, 200 years ago, including a couple huge mature oak trees that we estimate to be well over 200 years old. Oh, okay, so we're getting close. Actually, about where the power line is, I believe, is where the property begins. And it is surveyed with the corners marked. The survey pins are set back from the road a little bit, and I don't see them here. Oh, actually, maybe. See that pink ribbon right there? There's going to be a survey pin at the base of that pink ribbon. And again, those trees that you see that are kind of knocked around, that's just from improving this road. That's not from logging. No recent logging that we could see out here. So yeah, actually the property starts just a little bit before we get to this power line. Yeah, and actually I can see the other pin there. I'm gonna hop out really quickly here just to show everybody where the other survey pin is, in case you want to track that down. These surveyors who did this were excellent. I mean, everything they did was great, including the fact that when they placed these pins, they strung this pink ribbon up in the tree and actually physically put a ribbon from the survey pin to the tree. So, I mean, the ribbons obviously don't last forever, but it gives you a chance to kind of see what's going on when you get out here. So that's going to be southwest corner of the property. Obviously, that's the power line right there. We're so excited about this tract. I don't think we've ever had one like this size with a usable little cabin on it. Oh, so my mistake, that's not the southwest corner of the property. That is along the west line, but okay. So here's MapRight. And we just came across the road. The orange area is just indicating where we've driven before when we've used this MapRight, because we were tracking it. But that survey pin we saw is right there. So it's in line with the west side of the property, but actually the southwest corner is across the road and way down here. So way off that way, several hundred feet, a couple hundred feet at least. But you can see all that by looking at the listing page. I see big pines everywhere, big oaks. Okay, so now we're not on the easement road system anymore. This is the private driveway for the cabin. You could put up a gate as long as it's set back far enough from the easement road. There's the power meter right there. It actually has, I believe it has a couple other plug-ins, maybe even an RV plug-in. The skid loaders, unfortunately, are not included. Sorry. I didn't know the guys still had stuff out here. So as I look around the yard, the trailer's not included, excavator's not included, the power washer's not included, our water tank is not included, and then a couple other skid loaders and implements are not included. So just to make things clear, there's the little cabin, metal sided. Don't let looks deceive you, it's pretty cool on the inside. I don't know if we have a key here, unfortunately, but I knew we do have another video where we go inside the cabin. A little horse trailer is actually set up as an old hunting cabin. It's not horrible inside, but it's not great either. And then going back out here. So here's the drilled well. So it does have a drilled well, but at some point, who knows what happened, but the well house is gone. The electrical's been, well, cut at some point. It looks, hard to say, but it looks like the pump and all the piping might still be in there. Honestly, what you're seeing right now is all we know about the well. We have no clue about the well. If you can get a well guy in and get it going, then that's awesome. If not, then you know, that's fine too. You could drill another well. You could use a cistern. The cabin is so cool. Old back porch. Probably needs to be redone. And then we'll do the drone video, obviously. Little shed right there. But we've got this big open area here. We've got another open field back there. Those two trees, the big trees that I mentioned there, if you follow my fingers, enormous oak trees. When we did the measurements, we're guessing they're close to 300 years old, somewhere between 200 and 300 years old. And that's one of the several clues that made us think that this was an original homestead. Because rarely do you see trees that large unless they've been part of a yard, which would keep them from ever getting cut. So if that was the case, then very likely that there was an original old homestead here. And those two trees were part of the yard, so obviously they wouldn't have cut their yard trees. There is so much to see here. If the cabin is open, I'll go ahead and go in and check that out. Okay, I'm trying to think here. As far as septic or lagoon or sewer, we have no idea. There's a big pipe that comes out there. And then it likely runs back that way into what looks like an old lagoon back there. But again, everything you're seeing right now is the extent of our knowledge about this place. So I'm sure there'll be some good surprises and some bad surprises once you get into it. That trail goes back to the second meadow. Our least favorite part about this whole cabin was just that this kind of fascia board on the front porch had rotted away. Other than that, I mean, it all looked pretty usable. The back porch clearly needed work. Satellite dish, air conditioner, propane tank. We have no idea what does and doesn't work in the little cabin, so as you might expect, it's completely as is, where is, and that is locked. So, but like I said, I think we do have another video that shows the inside of that. What a property. What a property. We'll try to do a nice long drone video. I mean, this is a huge tract. It's got so much going for it. If you have any questions, please let us know. I wish we knew a little more about the history of, you know, the cabin and the homestead itself and all that good stuff. We really don't, but we'll tell you everything we know for sure. Old building there that's fallen down years ago. There's some old junk and possibly an old, I don't know, bus or something. 100-year-old bus back in the woods there. All the stuff you'd expect on a homestead that's been here a couple hundred years. For a hunting cabin, holy cow, it is awesome. I mean, that's I'm sure what this cabin was set up as, was a hunting cabin. It is cool inside. It's got one little bedroom, living area, kitchen area, bathroom area. But I mean, I don't think there's water run to it or anything like that, because it doesn't look like they've used the well for years. But yeah, check it out. Check out the other videos. Check out the drone video. Big pine trees, big oak trees. Man, this is awesome. Looks like the guys have cleaned up that trail going back here. I really feel like I could just leave the camera on and walk around here all day, but I think we'd run out of space on the camera pretty quickly. Huge old rock piles. So maybe they had cleared this for pasture or meadow at some point. You'll see the old rock piles on old homesteads. There's another one right there. We got to get the drone in the air and kind of do some exploring here. Beautiful little meadow right there. You've just got so many options on this. Huge pine trees you'll find out here. I mean, you could use this just for hunting. You could certainly build a larger cabin or a mansion out here if you wanted to. Super, super cool property. There's clearly timber value out here after the property's been paid for in full. You could log it. You could use the logs to build a log cabin. You could do a timber frame home, all that good stuff. Of course, that's after the property's been paid for in full. Well, we'll get that drone in the air and we'll see what we can see. And if you have any questions, we hope to hear from you.